This is not your normal discussion where we talk all about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion where we talk all about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Not Your Normal Discussion. I am your host, Nina.
I'm Tryst, bringing bliss in spite of our current apocalypse.
So this past week was Thanksgiving and my son's birthday. So for Thanksgiving, I went to my dad's house for the first dinner. And then I went to my in-laws for the second part of dinner. So I had two dinners and it was delicious, and I feel very blessed and grateful for my family and friends and for you viewers and just for everything. And then on Saturday was my son's birthday. He turned 4 and he got a big boy haircut on Friday. And he looks adorable. But I don't like the haircut too much because I like him with long hair, and he looks really, really cute. But now I see that he has a big head and he looks like his dad more with that short haircut. So, but he's happy. Everybody's happy. They had a good time. I made him a cake. I will y'all will see it here. And he had 2 birthday cakes. So we celebrated at midnight and then we celebrated again at the party. So, what did you do?
So, first of all, hope you guys all had a great, happy Thanksgiving. Mine was kind of a roller coaster. Like, I rode down with my mom and stepdad from New York down to North Carolina. And on one hand, some of the good was finding out my cousin Jacob, who was there, he's going to be a father. And hearing about some of the stuff behind that was interesting. And also, Thanksgiving dinner was great. But then at some point the day after Thanksgiving, I'm over here and Jacob listening to those, those gender role videos. And so we're talking about that. And that leads into talking about gay people, the LGBT, into transgender people. And my mom gets involved into the conversation too. And that was a whole fucking thing that I even texted my roommate that I wanted a bus ticket to get out of there. It was that contentious. And then, but my sister patched it up by taking the non-parents out to fucking Red Robin. We came back. We went to church the next day, and then before we left, we went bowling for the first time as a family. So that's pretty lit. So it ended on a higher note, but to summarize the weekend, at one point during our argument on Friday, I was like, this is why I see you guys when I see you. Because I could take y'all in doses, but I need an escape plan when y'all start doing too much. But yeah. Hopefully y'all Thanksgiving wasn't that contentious. But as we move forward for this episode, let's talk about some of the topics, Nina. What we got?
So for this week, we had the Walmart shooting in Chesapeake, Virginia. We got Qatar banning and restricting journalism, players, etc. from wearing rainbow clothing during the World Cup. And former Virginia police officer accused of catfishing a teen, killing her family, and kidnapping her. Yeah, so let's go to our commercials.
Yeah.
holistic health and witchy wellness. Feywild is a homeopathic-based business that strives to provide high-quality, handmade essential oil and holistic products. Our goal is to supply you with your everyday essentials, whether you are on the go or relaxing at home. We dedicate ourselves to finding the right blends and products for you and your family. Shop at Feywild. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
Welcome back. So our first really juicy topic is the Walmart shooting in Chesapeake, Virginia beach or Chesapeake, Virginia. There also been two threats in Virginia Beach itself too. So the one in Chesapeake, the guy was getting really he was getting bullied really bad, and around 10:14 p.m. The cops came into this Walmart because they had a couple of 911 calls. They were there within 2 minutes of the first call. And what happened was the guy, he went on break, went to the back, and started shooting. So the youngest person who died was only 16 years old. But they found 3 people in the break room, 1 person in the front, and then he shot 2 other people and then himself. So I just think people are really mean. And they get nastier, meaner, especially if you're different, because they don't understand you. But what happened last night? So Z104.5, the Zoo, is a radio station down here in Virginia, in Hampton Roads, and they actually went to kind of like a remembrance, where they talk about like what happened and what could have been saved and about people. So they actually went live on their Facebook account. But a couple years ago, when Virginia Beach had the serial killer in the Clerks that killed the guy who used to work there, got fired, and he shot up people. The governor actually tried to get into try to reform the gun policy, where you go to buy so many guns each year. You could only you got to do like rigorous background checks, and because our state is the home for NRA, he got a lot of backlash. But last year he was able to get a couple of what he wanted onto basically being a law. And one of them was the background check and the limitation. But there's so much more that we could do without having to say, you guys have no right to bear arms. And my question is, do you think that we should become a country where you shouldn't have guns, period? Or and do you think it's fair or right or against the Constitution to tell people who can and can't have guns?
Well, I'm mixed on, we've had this conversation multiple times with the multiple mass happen. I am mixed on this issue, especially with this, because this issue reminds me a lot of, especially this case, it reminds me a lot of the situation, I want to say back in 1986 with the whole, kind of started the whole term of going postal, where the post office worker in Oklahoma, I think Edmond, and outside of Oklahoma City, he killed like 14 of his coworkers, and I think himself, especially after 2 supervisors reprimanded him. And it's not just the guns as a problem. It is a problem. You have so many guns flowing around, but it's also economic insecurities and unchecked mental health and very little to do to actually destigmatize, talking about mental illness and actually making it free or affordable for people to really get mental health and just health checks in general. Like there were people who her coworkers who was calling the shooter basically saying that he was paranoid, he was condescending, and that's not a good recipe to have in a manager. And on top of that, as a manager, you're going to have your assistant manager over you, store manager, district manager, and all of them are coming down on each other to push the one below them harder to increase, revenues for these companies. And let's not forget, Walmart and McDonald's are companies that have the highest number of workers who are working full time and still getting food stamps and Medicaid and all that. So people working full time not even able to pay their bills. Virginia's a right to work state. They're not getting, good labor unions because right to work states really fight against labor unions. And a company like Walmart is literally there to depress minimum wage and shit like that. And Walmart's are, notorious for sucking up all the, jobs and stuff like that in an area and closing down other businesses. So you have somebody who's a manager who feels the pressure, who in his death note and his note on his phone said that his employees were laughing at him and everything like that, laughing at his failure, and that's why he targeted them rather than targeting the managers above him. So I think there's I'm all for demilitarization of the public, but also of the police and of our military, because half the people who have all these guns, they believe at some point they're going to get into a fight with fascist police. So that's why they'll never give it up. That or burglars, that or the hoodlums, or they're planning for either race war or fascism or whatever to come and take away their rights. And the other half, it is legitimate protection. But like you were saying, if we had universal background checks and they found any type of mental disorders in his past, I'm not saying that if you have mental illness, you shouldn't be able to defend yourself. They're saying, hey, maybe that person needs, some counseling before they can get a gun.
See, I think they should, if you want to go get a gun, you need to go see a therapist and get paper saying that, yes, this guy is mentally stable. Go ahead. Because all they got to do is go, I'm sorry, but if you go, hey, you can have a gun, so you do this, how you know the person is mentally stable or not at that moment? You can't really, maybe they had a bad day. You're like, I know you had a messed up day, but screw it. You need to go see a therapist. No, I think they should, if you want to get a gun, just like how transgender, where before they could, go get the sexual change down below, you have to go see a therapist, wait a year, think about. I think it should be kind of the same, where you have to see a therapist and have that therapist evaluate you. What's your reasoning for having a gun? Is it for protection? Is it because you want to shoot somebody? Are you unhinged? Are you not? Maybe you just want to have a gun just in case. What is your reasoning behind it?
I mean, that's a reason why some states some people want, at the very least, a 2 week period between you applying for a gun and you getting the gun. Because I think he got the gun either the day of or the day before the shooting. So I'm not saying this shooting would have never happened if he waited 2 weeks to get his gun, but it at least would have been delayed. It wouldn't have happened the day it happened. And maybe in his mind, he would have gone.
I think if he waited 2 weeks, I think he would have had more of a list of people. Because, holiday, you get more stressed out too.
True, but at the same time too, he would have had time to cool down. And like I said, if you also had that thing of speaking with someone about your reasons for a gun or any type of issues you might be going through in life, mental health is something that's also underfunded in this country. It's not one, we stigmatize it. It's not affordable for a lot of people to get the medication or the therapy. And then healthcare is just a wreck too. And like we were saying with the working situation, people are living on minimum wage. These companies, their profits, they increase it either by, shipping jobs overseas or fucking firing people. And so that's a lot of pressure for both workers and managers. And instead of a sense of worker solidarity, because I always say to people, listen, whatever we're doing at this job, it's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. No one's gonna die. There's no way I'm letting some company that's paying me minimum wage or whatever the fuck they're paying me to stress me out so that the company can get more profits. If we had more fucking worker solidarity, more fights for unions, like look at Starbucks and the shit, like they're fighting for those unions. If they could fight in Walmarts for more of that shit, like until we have more of those type of things, we're gonna keep seeing more of these mass shootings that are either of like a hate-filled terroristic nature or just of a domestic, I'm done with life, there is no more road for me type of nature.
Yeah. So also the same week in my city, Virginia Beach, actually two of the Walmarts that I go to a lot got threats called into the stores on Black Friday. So the stores were actually evacuated. And then first it was the one on Lynn Haven Parkway, and then the one on Virginia Beach Boulevard that actually got called. The one on Lynn Haven Parkway in Princess Anne, the manager got the call and she shut that thing damn quick. So everybody out. The police are like, well, it's just a call, it's nothing major. So the FBI is like, nope, we're gonna figure this out. So they are trying to find out who the caller is and where to locate him to get them. So to me, that's kind of sad that for the largest city in Virginia and one of the largest city on the East Coast, as in Landworth, the police are like, well, it's just a call.
That's the police.
And,
It's
but the thing is, for me,
what just happened, but that's the police. They're like, nobody, like same thing with like women being stalked by a stalker and there's documented things and they're like, well, until he does something, what are we supposed to? It's like, oh, so my life literally has to be in, like he literally has to harm me for you to intervene.
Yeah. But my thing is that like they did a great job to find a person like really quick who called in a shooting threat to Locksburg Middle School. Like within that night, they knew who did it, everything. So you're telling me somebody calls Walmart to close down a huge store, two of them, and you're like, what happens if he doesn't call next time? Like, did he call because he wanted to get to Black Friday and want to make sure that his TV was still there? So he called it ahead of time and was like, let me hurry up and see if my TV's there. If not, I'll call the next Walmart, have them shut down, and I can hurry up and run in. Or it could be an actual serious threat where the guy's like, oh, crap. Black Friday's not the good time to call Walmart. I'll just go into the next store one of these days and just shoot it up. Like, so I'm really proud that the FBI is actually getting into it and trying to find it. But I love my city. I like my city a lot, and there are some good police officers. So I'm not saying that all police officers are bad in our city. There are some. No, one time I almost had I had a really bad anxiety attack because the lady pulled me over because my tail light went out, and she saw she's like, I'm just pulling you over just to let you know that it did just go out, and I'm like I was breaking down, crying, like shaking, to the point James had to take over driving because I just couldn't stop, because I had been stopped by really bad police officers before, so they that's why I said there's good and bad.
To me, it's more so like an individual person in a system could be good or kind, but a system could be bad enough that you automatically have anxiety over what could happen and being stopped, and we just accept it as damn, sucks that it happened again. But let's pray for those people, let's reach out for those people, and let's try and fight for better laws, okay?
Yes.
But now on to the commercial break.
Let's travel to a world of holistic health and witchy wellness. BelieveNewYork is a homeopathic-based business that strives to provide high-quality, handmade essential oil and holistic products. Our goal is to supply you with your everyday essentials, whether you are on the go or relaxing at home. We dedicate ourselves to finding the right blends and products for you and your family. Shop at Feywild.
All right, discussers, we're back from our commercial break and on to our second topic, Qatar, the World Cup, and how they're banning everyone from journalists to players for wearing any type of LGBT memorabilia or just rainbows. Like, I listen, I personally get it. When you're in another country, you kind of like do as the Romans do. But these people paid how much in bidding for the World Cup to have all the world's nations come, and they're doing everything from banning pornography or public speech criticizing their country to LGBT rainbow colors, patches, shirts. Like one journalist, Grant Wall, was detained for over an hour over it. You had journalists, not journalists, but players, like especially from the European teams, who wanted to wear this One Love armband as a protest. And FIFA's backing the World Cup and all this. I mean, FIFA's backing Qatar and the World Cup and all this, where they said that they're going to hand out yellow cards to any team that doesn't wear the FIFA approved armband and do the protest one instead. And meanwhile, you have players from Iran who won't sing this national anthem for their country because of the whole movement that's going on, the protest, where the police have killed, like I believe, up to 400 people, and the government's threatening to execute thousands of people because morality police are over there, beating women and shooting protesters over the thing that happened with the woman who was killed over not having her hair covered. And even the people in that country were going as far as to say they should have protested by not going or by taking a knee or by doing, the symbol that they have in Iran for the hair cutting to show true solidarity. But like that's real solidarity. Meanwhile, the European nations, like I get it, no one wants to end up like Brittany Griner stuck in like a jail in a foreign country, especially when we're very repressive laws. But like you knew what country you're going to. So it's either to protest by not going or to have some balls and like do even the little protest you were gonna do with the armband and just take the hate of the fans and the hate of your owner. But that's kind of what happens under capitalism. We're trying to rely on athletes and celebrities to do your activism. But I was wondering what you feel about this, Nina, because I feel like if people were protesting even further before all this about the thousands of people who died, the migrant workers, building this $200 billion city that's still not complete and still looks like a construction site, we wouldn't be at this point where like we're doing the bare minimum to protest. Fucking bullshit. Like you can't invite the whole world and then say, well, fuck you, bitch, for expecting us to be any better. What do you think?
Well, when I looked it up, it said that 4 days ago, they're trying to say they're not banning the flag. What they're trying to do is protect people who are either gay or allies of the community, because it is still it's still criminal over there to be that, but they are trying to be like, hey, we know there are a lot of gay people around the world, and that's okay out there. For this event, we are allowing you to come into our country that do not allow this. So it's kind of like going to somebody's church and being like, I'm a Satan lover, and then putting any kind of like evilness around the church. Y'all would be looking at the person like, nah, y'all need to get out or, try to call the cops. I feel it's kind of the same thing. You before you go to another country and rebel, especially against something like this, there's different way to protest. You respect that. That's my thing. Um, we are fortunate to be in a country where we can have a whole bunch of different religions. We could protest without having to worry too much if we're going to get killed or not. Um, I said too much. I got worried too much. Um, but that versus if we have a small protest around here and 6 people get killed, to us that's a big number. But outside of the United States, that's just one family, and that's not much compared to thousands of hundreds of people getting killed for the little right they're trying to get. Um, I'm sorry, you went to somebody else's country. You should know the rules, and you should be respectful of that. The whole money thing, that's when you could go beat somebody up for that because that's not right for people dying that way. But over a flag, getting upset over a flag, or not be able to share your colors, or be like, "Yo, I am gay. I am proud." These games are not about being gay and proud. It's about your country. Fight, going against who's the better sport. What's the better sport team? So that's where I come from. I'm I'm an ally, and if I went over there, I might wear a button. That's about it. I would not be going, putting a whole bunch of rainbow on. But I know this country does not respect that and is trying to keep, people a certain way. Um, but I know that sounds weird or wrong, but there's ways to protest something. There's way to respect. You wouldn't want somebody to come to your house and disrespect your house and your rules for your kids or your family, just because their rules are different.
I kind of agree and disagree. Like, I agree in the sense that, again, like, if you showed up in another country and you know that they're on some other time that you're not on, that, like, again, it might be best for you to either not come, or if when you win your match, that's when you pull out the, like, if you had a shirt under your shit that was all rainbows and all,
Just a quick show off.
like, oh, some like, like, fuck you type of shit. So, like, what can they do now? Like, you got your thing out. But at the same time, too, it'd be like I get the metaphor of, if you go to a church, you can't, like, be surprised that the church, like, looking at you like, why are you wearing that shit? Or why are you talking like this? You're at a church. But if the church, like, say, opens up a theme park, you can't be mad that people are wearing shirts that aren't all decked out with crosses, that people are wearing yarmulkes, people are wearing hijabs, that people are wearing, like, rainbow shirts. You do a team, you open a theme park. You invited people to the games. You invited people to the amusement park, and now you're mad that everyone that came isn't Christian or isn't gonna espouse that.
But see, they're not. I don't think they're 100% upset that they're wearing rainbows. I think what is going on is that they don't want outsiders to put in ideas to this country. Because what's the religion?
It's Muslim, it's Islam, but they, like, for example, they have designated areas for certain people to practice their religion, but you can still get in trouble for, like, trying to spread the religion, and certain religions aren't even allowed to, like, they don't have any place to practice. But, and, like, at least if they had a space for LGBT people to feel comfortable being LGBT, but, like, the
But
Qatari,
see, the Muslim religion, they don't believe in any of gay or anything like that. That's why, like, when I was looking into the religion, I was like, I I would like to partake or learn more about it, but at the same time, I have friends that are part of the community and family, and I'm like, will it be wrong for me to still be an ally while, being Muslim or learning? Because I'm not going to give up my family and friends. So
I was gonna say, don't forget Christianity. Its origins are often very heavily anti-LGBT as well.
but it
And
depends on who's the preacher, though,
Mhm.
because some people, well, God said He loves everybody, so and He made people in His image, so maybe He is.
Yeah, but think about how many years it took for like even the think about we still had the post nightclub shooting, we had the recent Club Q shooting, and there were I've seen videos of pastors and even the shooter's father talking about like how proud they are of it, and like is grateful for people to be those people to be dead. I'm not saying anyone should go do it, but I'm not mad that they're gone. So like you still have that like homophobia even in like Christianity as like loving as it's
It's
supposed.
because you don't understand.
Yeah, to me, it's more so like you don't want an international incident. Do you really want a Brittany Griner situation on your hands at the World Cup while people are like, you already had 6,500 people, migrant workers from other countries, die on your border. Like these people are playing on like essentially a graveyard, and the stadium is fucking full of holes, it's cracked. The amenities are trash. People are sleeping in fucking hot ass places with loud ass fans going off at night. They said they were going to allow beer, and then 2 days before the World Cup started, they disallowed it. And so there's like warehouses with millions of cans of beer sitting in the hot sun, not being used. Like you can't on one hand be like, oh no, we're cool for everyone to come, and then like when everyone comes, it's like actually fuck you, bitch. And even the LGBT players, like more so for the citizens, but even players, they're at risk of harassment by the police, being arrested, or conversion therapy. Thankfully, we haven't heard that happen to anybody. But if they decided to switch, they could do it. And it's very much, if you're a repressive government, you should understand how to take care of, controlling your own people while at the same time being less lenient on other people so that the world doesn't come and say, actually, bitch, no, we're not going to tolerate this. We're going to do all kinds of shit with your government now. We're going to fuck with you. But any other thoughts?
It's, they're trying to say like somebody was like, if he a fan raised a flag and I took it from him, it's not because I really want to really take it to really insult him, but to protect him. Ali and Saudi told the AP, because if it's not me, somebody else around him might attack him. I cannot guarantee the behavior of the whole people. And I would tell him, please, no need to really raise that flag at this point. So some people are like taking the flag maybe to protect the people, so they want to get attacked from the people of that country. But
Like the concept
like I
of
said,
your slave.
you don't go to somebody's house and you don't mess up their house just because you're a guest.
Yeah. Is but also like if you have to like pretend not to be gay to be invited to the house, it's like you look at your friend
Hey,
like
there's some people that live still with their family and they're gay and they're still trying to be in the closet.
that
And
had remember that movie with it was like a holiday movie where I think Kristen Stewart is in it and Aubrey Plaza on Netflix, and like her girlfriend invited her back home, but she didn't come out to her family, and she's looking at her girlfriend like, bitch, why would you invite me when you told me originally I believed you was out to your family, and now I gotta be back in the closet for your sake. Basically, like, and again, sports is a big capitalist thing. We do this like, oh, it's about peace and togetherness while all this shit is happening in the background. But it's very much like,
but see, some people will hide at their family and
mm,
then they go out and they're like, I want to be proud, everybody. And it's like,
I get that, but then at some point is gonna come a schism where you're trying to get married, and it's like, are you gonna keep your family out of that and out of your future, or are you going to finally have to like reveal to them if same thing, not the same thing, obviously, since I don't actually have the risk. But like when my cousin was asking, oh, so what? Do you like women, only women? In my head, I'm like, if I was actually gay, like you'd be putting me in danger right now. But I was just like, no, I'm not gay. But if I was gay, I just wouldn't be around. I would know how y'all are. I would love you from a distance, but I'll be just living my life. And like sometimes the best protest is just say, fuck it, I'm not going. and then saying, "What, you're gonna fire me because I'm gay and I won't go to a repressive ass country? Do it, do it. Let's so I can sue, bitch."
It's kind of like people going to a gay club and be like, look at me. I am straight though. Don't touch me. And it's like, then why did you come here? Like, you don't want to get hit on. That just like
As y'all can see, there's a wide array of different thoughts on this from different places where we can both see both sides. But especially for this topic and all the topics, put in the comments what y'all think. In the meantime, we're going on to commercial break before we hit our last topic.
Let's travel to a world of holistic health and witchy wellness. BelieveNewYork is a homeopathic-based business that strives to provide high-quality, handmade essential oil and holistic products. Our goal is to supply you with your everyday essentials, whether you are on the go or relaxing at home. We dedicate ourselves to finding the right blends and products for you and your family. Shop at BelieveNewYork.
Hey y'all, welcome back. So for our last topic, we're actually going to talk about the Virginia man accused of killing family members in California and kidnapping the teen girl. So what happened was detectives learned that Austin L. Edwards was actually used to be a Virginia State Police officer till October, where he got fired. I believe he was only 28 years old, and he's dead now because there was a shootout with the police officer in California. So this guy drove from Virginia all the way to Riverside, California to meet up with the teenage girl that lived there. And it ended up being a triple homicide because what he did was he went and murdered her family, her mom, her grandfather, and her grandmother, I believe is correct. Yes. He murdered them, took the girl, drove. Luckily, neighbors saw her like panicking on the side of the in the passenger seat, and they were able. The California State Police, I believe it was the state police, was no, is that the state police?
No, I was shaking my head just thinking about the case, but continue.
I believe it's the state police, California State Police down in Riverside, followed him, and then he tried to get out of the car to shoot, and they shot him down. So for me, I think this is why everything happened to do with Virginia this week. He was not part of my area, thank goodness. He's closer to Naima's area, Richmond. Stay there. We really got enough crazy down here. But after arriving at the girl's home in Riverside, police said that he murdered her mother, Brooke, who's 38, and her grandparents, 69-year-old Mark and 65-year-old Sherry. He also he didn't just kill them. He also set the house on fire. And that's when they were able to then like I said, he kidnapped the teen by forcing her into his car, parked next door. And exactly we don't know exactly how he killed the family, the other three people, but they were able, like a couple hours later, they were able to track Edward down with the girl in the car in the Mojave Desert. So, and that's when he, shot the deputies. So it wasn't the state. Sorry, it was not the state troop. So it was actually Bernardo County Sheriff Department that saved her. So when the deputies also fired, like I said, he was pronounced dead at the scene, and the girl was unharmed, but she is now in protective custodies. And Edward's last known address was in North Chesterfield. So, but I think it's just crazy because he got hired or he joined the academy for state police January 6th, 2021. And he actually graduated in January 21, 22. So he was assigned to Rocco County, which of course, like I said, around Richmond Division. And then he resigned from his post on October 28, 2022. Was hired by the Washington County Sheriff's Office. More than 2 weeks later, like a lot of people were, they said they were contacted during Edward's hiring process. However, officials said no employee disclosed any troubles, recommends, or intervention. So they called like the state police in Richmond area just to see like reference, like was there anything? There was nothing. And a lot of people are like upset because it's police killed police. But I'm sorry, at this point, he's a criminal. He's not a police officer. He literally drove from Virginia to California to murder her, to get this girl. And I think that's crazy. Nana, I'll be back.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's not that crazy that it was a police officer. It's more crazy that he traveled 3 days worth when a lot of cops abuse children that they're arresting or threatening with arrests and basically, well, if you want to get out of this arrest. But so many thoughts are going through my head right now with this case, where everything from homie with the Confederacy ass name. Like the first story, I was disappointed. I was like, oh man, not a black one, not a black domestic terrorist. I hate those. This one is more familiar. Like, all right, white man who looks like he would never get a date in his life if he wasn't doing some shady shit. And my man's whole catfishing, my man's whole traveled 3 days for a little girl. He killed her family, burned down the house to cover up the evidence, and then had a final shootout with the cops over it. And mind you, he went through an orientation for that second job as a sheriff just 4 days before he did all this shit. And like, could you imagine your life just taking this wild, diversion away from whatever path you had before? The desperation, the fucking entitlement, like you really like you kill a whole family and you this girl doesn't even recognize you because you've been catfishing her. So she doesn't even recognize you. You kill her whole family. She's like, who the fuck are you? And think about the trauma she's gonna have from fucking blaming herself for this shit going on when this grown ass man fucking violated every level of humanity to do this. And this reminds me of what I brought up last week. I gotta see if I can find a picture that was referencing it. But the concept of police departments saying if they were to fire abusers or people who commit like violence against the people they're arresting, or people who are racist, if they were to fire those more violent, more bigoted people, they wouldn't have enough people on the police force in many cities and states. And it's like these are examples of why these people like you do certain things as a police officer. If you want to say it's bad apples, then them niggas need to be excommunicated from the force and from ever being able to sign up. There's like a thing of gypsy police officers.
They should have a national database to where if somebody got fired because they did something completely wrong or they're showing mental illness or not just showing but not trying to solve the problem. It should be in their public record. It should be in the database. So not another place or state could hire them or shouldn't hire them because it's red flags.
Yeah, and like if you want to say, oh, that's too awkward, then all right, make it a 5-year or 10-year thing where like if they try to apply again, then like okay, we review everything, we see if they've improved, and we see if they're not displaying the same type.
They should have to go to a different therapist. than the
Yeah.
one that like give them their mental illness and stuff. Because sometimes I understand, yes, but some regular like police officer therapists, I understand, yes, they're part of their union or part of their group or whatever, but some of them will be like, oh, because so and so is my friend and she's having a hard time not having a job in the police force, I'm just gonna, bypass it. And it should be like that. I think especially for officers, or any kind of job like that, where you are in control of somebody else's life, because they should be getting these weekly, go see a therapist every week. That way you could like some of those emotions, like if you accidentally kill somebody, that's gonna eat you alive, and that's gonna end up making you feel worse, making you not be as effective officer as you should be. And you need that, and because if you shoot somebody and you never shot somebody and killed them, that messes with your head.
Yeah.
That is not keeping you're not keeping your community safe at that point, because now you're paranoid that either A, you might shoot somebody, or somebody's going to shoot you as easily as you shot somebody else.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's some of the propaganda though, to make them okay with, if they have to shoot, or if they have to shoot, if they have to beat down some certain type of people that they consider criminal elements. In their mind, they're just like, well, they have this record, they already are violent people. Like, I'm just dealing with the scum. That's how they get into this very like conservative ass, like I'm Batman bitch type of energy. But like there are the cops could probably call some of the best cops, like the ones who like try and stop, child predators and stuff like that. I remember watching something where they were talking about how those cops, like, they especially need therapy because of all the shit that they're intaking and watching, trying to like protect children and shit like that. It really fucks them up. If you want to talk about any type of concept of good cops, I would say those would probably be the highest ones you could think of. But like, if you want people, like, I'm all for defunding, abolishing police, and doing something different like community policing. But if you want to keep the police force, you got to do something about the quote unquote bad apples. You got to do something about the people who can jump from one fucking department to another, like is not in the same state or in the same country or in the same region, and stop people from being able to just like, oh, I fucked up here, fuck it, shoot, over here, I'm gonna be a sheriff now. Like, there's got to
That's
be.
why I said they should have a database where they should have to check where, like, because they say they do background check, but background check is not going to report, oh, he wrote this person up while she's in the rain because she accidentally did this, or he touched a girl wrong, or they touched a girl wrong, or boy or guy or whatever. Like,
Anyway,
they're not going to put harassment on there unless it's like a big public thing. So a lot of them do get away with stuff where they shouldn't be getting away, but they do because
and this is
people doing it.
people should be just paid to stay home. Like, I know people don't like the idea of certain people getting paid to not work, but when I think of like racist or like violent like teachers and police officers and security
You hear
guards.
about the teacher down in Texas? Um, so during class, I forgot what he did. Uh, Somebody asked a question. He's like, "You know what? To be perfectly honest with y'all, I am racist because I believe that my
Oh
race is better
yeah,
than yours."
Jesus Christ. Yeah, certainly like
And then
fire
the black boy was like,
them to stay
"I
home.
trusted you. I had respect for you, and this is how you come out." And it's
Yeah.
like, "Yep."
Listen, people are against the welfare state. I say cut our military budget by half. Certain people don't need, certain people who are like have demonstrated that they are not the type of people that you want taking care of all the children that's in there, or all the people that's in their like vicinity, in their range of power. Fire them niggas and keep them home and let them just collect a check, because we can't keep living like this shit.
No.
But like, any other thoughts, closing thoughts before we get ready to close out?
We got stupid people in this country.
Yeah. Yo, God be
Hey,
with them.
Virginia, stop doing stupid crap, please. I do
Other
not even have to say anything.
like, I hope the community reaches out and embraces her and doesn't blame her for what happened. Because honestly,
Oh,
she didn't pull them shots. That nigga did. But let's go to our
one
final.
last thing. Um, this is the holiday season right now. There are a lot of people that are shopping and are trying their best to make enough money to get the presents their family want or things they need. Don't be an a-hole. Do not buy stuff and then try to sell to them for triple the price, because they're gonna a lot of this month, December, is the suicide month, because that is when a lot of people are committing suicide because they feel like they're failures. So if you see somebody down, tell them they're doing a good job. Tell them that you are thankful that they're alive, because you never know if they're gonna be the next person to jump off a roof or shoot a whole bunch of people and then shoot themselves or anything like that. So right now in this time, we need more people being humble to each other, be sincere, and just be nice. That's all I gotta say.
No, that's beautiful for you to put that. And adding on to that, if you yourself are depressed and feeling like that, feeling like you don't understand what are you sitting here, you don't feel like you're living up to anything. Like, you're here for a reason. You're here to make a difference. Like, if you're watching this stuff and hear the things we talk about, you understand like things don't need to be like this. They can be better, and other people need to learn that too. You could be the
And
person.
I am not doing anything, so that's more important than to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. And if that means that you contact me and you want me to answer, text me or DM me, messenger, I will answer. I will call. We will talk. You might hear my kids screaming in the background, but I will talk to you. One more person life saved is another great day in
Whether
my
it's whether it's a therapist, whether it's a group that like is a shared hobby that you have, and you feel comfortable in that setting. You
uh,
know,
suicide prevention lifeline. Go
yeah.
to it. There are people that are more qualified than me to talk to you. But if you do want to talk to me, I am fine with it. Um, Sometimes that don't make sense, and I will make you laugh. Now, hopefully, I can get you to love life again, or realize that it's not as serious as it could be, as you might make it at the moment. I know sometimes I have really bad anxiety, and I panic, and I feel like I shouldn't be around. That's when I have to take a deep breath and be like, okay, list all the things that is going positive in my life, or things that are keeping me, from jumping to the deep end. Um, I had to learn the hard way, especially around Christmas, um, because I had rough time, and there are a lot of programs out there that is there to help you. Um, if you can't afford therapists or anything, and you're really, really considering to kill yourself, call the suicide hotline or me. I will try to figure out a way to get you the money that you need to go see that therapist. I will call them every day and bug the crap out of them till they see you.
And
So
one thing I saw online like a while ago, talking about living out of spite. Like, if you're not in the place yet to see life as like a Studio Ghibli film, and everything is beautiful, you can get to that place. But if all you're hearing is the negative voices saying, "Oh, you're not good enough," say fuck them. Live out of spite. Prove them wrong. Show them that, like, listen, I am not going to be crushed by you or the system. I am here. I'm valid. I'm a living, breathing, caring, empathetic human being. I'm going to make a fucking difference, even if it's just in the lives of the people I care about. And fucking live out of spite, and let that spite then blossom and grow into love for life and love for improving life for yourself and those you love. So,
we love you. If
that
you haven't
drop,
heard it today, if you
yes.
haven't heard it, we love you. We
Mhm.
are grateful for you. I am very blessed. Even if I haven't met you yet, I am blessed that you're alive and you're watching us. And I hope you take this message and if you find somebody that's having a hard time, like I said, say thank you and I'm glad you're here.
Yes, we love you, and we want to grow and do amazing things with you. We love you guys, and we'll see you. All right. Be good.
Let's travel to a world of holistic health and witchy wellness. Wild is a homeopathic-based business that strives to provide high-quality, handmade essential oil and holistic products. Our goal is to supply you with your everyday essentials, whether you are on the go or relaxing at home. We dedicate ourselves to finding the right blends and products for you and your family. Shop at Wild. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
Welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our promos. So Tristan, hit it.
All right, so we're the holiday season again. Happy Thanksgiving, despite the darkness behind it. But one way that we can honor family and togetherness and being in need and helping those in need is by making a difference, by giving. So, I'm with Washington Square Park, Mutual Aid. They do a lot of work in the park and all over New York City. And if you want to donate, one place you can look is donating to their Venmo, which is WSP Mutual Aid, all one word, or their Cashapp, which is basically WSP Mutual Aid, of course, with the dollar sign ahead of it. I'm also with BelieveNewYork, which at this time is actually doing a holiday gift drive. So if you want to help purchase gifts for children and adolescents in poverty, you can donate at BelieveNY.org/donate. And you can do it by Monday, December 12th. You have up till then, and you can mention the gift name in the description. And also, if you just want to donate to the organization overall, there's the Venmo, Believe New York, and a Cash App also. Well, Believe NY, and the Cash App as well, $ Believe NY. And the website is Believe New York or BelieveNY.org. And as for promotions, I still have my channel. I know I haven't posted in a while because I've been working on a video. Hopefully get it out right before Thanksgiving. But Holy Baloney Jabronis, I'm out here doing content like this and also wilder stuff, other stuff. Come join the channel. Come see what we're doing. Come be a fellow jabroni. Nina, what are you promoting in this holiday season?
So, as everybody know, I am a Mary Kay consultant, and these are the beauty boxes. And also, I got the new winter lookbook. So if you guys want one, just text me or DM me or on a comment below. Tell me that you want one, and I will hit you up. And for these, I actually have no clue what they're in. So let's do. Which one should I do first?
Beauty box with the stripes.
Okay. So in this one, we got, of course, you get the nice little paper like this. You get a full-size deep charcoal mask. You might not be able to
Okay.
see.
Yeah, you see it now.
You get the black mascara. I really like this brush here.
Okay. And it says,
You
what's that?
get a liquid eyeshadow,
Okay.
and you get 2 hydrating gel masks.
Okay.
And also, what I could do is that if you do want one of these beauty boxes, but there's some stuff in here that you don't like for you, Tristan, I wouldn't give you mascara or eyeshadow because that's not something you probably like. I probably like change it up and put like a beard oil in there.
Okay.
But it will come in a nice little box like this and shipped to you. So let's go for the other one. So this was, I like the design because it has lots of little kissies. Mwah.
Yeah.
So definitely good. This one actually comes with American headband.
Okay.
It comes with a pink clay mask, which you would like this.
Yeah, I do need to get my exfoliation on.
It comes with a shave scrub, so you get a deluxe sample on each of these.
Okay.
And that is actually really good on the body. I just ordered like 4 more of those.
Okay.
This is an ultimate lipstick in Fancy Nancy.
Okay.
So gotta get those lips done. And then of course you get a full size highlighter and glazed. So this is what it looks like. And it also comes with a card that tells you exactly like what's in it, and how much each item is. So the clay mask is $18, the lipstick is $16, the highlighter is $14, and then of course you got the headband and the deluxe, and you also get the nice little fun thing. And these boxes are $48. So you're actually getting a good, deal on them. So like I said, I could always change it up. If you really like the box, I could change some of the items up if you need it. Just hit me up. I am your wonderful Mary Kay consultant. And I'm going to be Princess of Court this year. So I'm excited. So, and my website is marykay.com/beauty within, because beauty starts in the inside and it shows out. So I hope you guys enjoyed our episode, and see you next time. Bye. Do not forget to go to our Patreon.
This is not your
Don't forget to go onto our Patreon and also our Twitch channel, especially for our Friday after shows.
Next week, after the holidays, come back and join us, baby. We love you.
This is not your normal discussion.